This video is part of a series I'm doing based on my 40 some odd years as a guitar player, musician, and engineer. This one is about gear and why it doesn't really matter all that much. Now, I know that's a little painful for people to hear to some degree. And, this really isn't targeted at people that kind of do music or guitar as a hobby. And the fun part is collecting gear for them. That's perfectly fine, obviously. That's really a different thing. I'm more thinking of people who want to be creatives or grow their own voice on an instrument, become producers, engineers, that kind of thing. You want decent gear that works, but the constant rabbit hole chasing of this is better than this, and this person uses this, and I have to do that, or this $400 cable is better than this $50 cable. Look, we all know the truth at the end of the day. You can have, say, Eric Johnson's entire guitar rig. You're still going to sound like yourself. You're not going to sound like Eric Johnson or play like him. We all know these things. I understand we live in a consumer society and you're constantly bombarded with you need to buy this and buy that because this person uses this and that, but that's really not the path. A great example of this is Prince. And everybody loves Prince as being such an original and having a unique sound and being an innovator. Part of the reason that is because Prince really stuck with the same gear a lot of his career. He was still using the same, cheapo guitar pedals he had when he was a kid, the same guitar, the same this, the same that, a Lindrum. Prince didn't really go out of his way to check out new gear. He didn't have any time for that because he was creating and he wanted his stuff to sound okay and work, and the rest was up to him. That's really the angle to come at this stuff from. A lot of great music has been made on terrible guitars. Eddie Van Halen's original guitar was something he slapped together himself and was basically falling apart. Didn't seem to hurt him much. So you really need to think of it as the gear is serving you and serving your expression. The gear is not your expression. I think people get those muddled up a bit and they become sort of reliant on the gear or think the magic is in the gear. The magic is in you. It's going to come from your head, your heart, and your hands. It's not going to come from any piece of gear you're going to buy anywhere, unfortunately. I was lucky enough to do a collaboration with Steve Morse on one of my tunes called Mobius that's on my channel. I used a 1-watt Marshall DSL amp on that, which I think costs $400, maybe. You don't need to be Madison Square Garden, volume level. You don't need $45,000 worth of gear and 400 guitars. You need to be the best you can be, and the gear will speak through you.